and extra hours, and her stomach twisted. Val had taken Mira to It's Fashion last week because she was outgrowing all of her clothes. Mira's heart had dropped at the total on the register, and she didn't mention she needed new shoes, too. The only shoes that still fit her were flip-flops. Was Val talking about how much the clothes had cost? Mira and Beans finished making the pancakes, and Val appeared in the kitchen doorway. "Can you watch the girls tomorrow afternoon, Mira? At the library? I'm going to help Abby." Abby owned a cleaning service. If she had an apartment move in or move out on a day when Shampooch Palace was closed, she often asked Val for help. Again? Mira thought. But she turned her lips up into a quick smile and nodded before nibbling at her breakfast. She focused on the warmth of the pancake on her tongue, along with the sweetness of the syrup, trying to bring back that special Saturday morning feeling she used to get when Papa was still here. Then she put the dishes in the dishwasher and walked on her toes, a habit left over from gymnastics, into the family room, where Val was rummaging in her purse. Mira ran her fingers over the smooth leather of the recliner that had once been Papa's. No one really wanted that chair anymore. These days they mostly used it to hold laundry. It was just an extra thing no one knew what to do with that chair. A random old thing that was just still here. Like me, Mira thought. A lump formed in her throat, and she reached for the pendant on her necklace. The opaque emerald green stone reminded Mira of a fig beetle and always felt warm. But sometimes, even the warmth of the pendant didn't provide comfort. A wave of sadness washed over her. Val was jamming her feet into her work shoes without untying the laces. She glanced up. "Everything okay?" No, Mira thought. But she reminded herself of what Val had done, the horrible things she had done on that terrible day, and why Mira could never, ever forgive her. A familiar heat flooded Mira's chest. It dried up all the sadness. She cleared her throat. "Yes, everything's fine." The doorbell rang and Val hurried to answer. Some instinct made Mira glance out the window that faced the back porch. Even at that distance, she could see the bird in the magnolia tree. It hadn't flown off. It had only moved from the front yard to the back, its golden presence unmistakable. Though she would have thought it difficult to see her from that far away, and through a sheer curtain no less, it did seem to be watching. Not foraging, not building a nest, just watching. That bird was too big, too bright, too strange. It didn't fit in around here any better than Mira did. What was it doing here? Where had it come from? Chapter 2. Glass Pond wasn't any good for swimming. Mira knew that. Everyone in between Georgia knew that. And even if they hadn't, they wouldn't have been able to try it out for themselves. The pond behind the Marathon gas station was locked up tight, surrounded by a tall wooden fence someone had painted black, and fronted by a collection of cypress and holly trees interwoven with vines. The gate wasn't operable, or didn't seem to be. There wasn't a latch in view. No admittance signs were plastered everywhere. Of course, all that trying to keep people out just made some people want to get in. But the occasional hooligan reported the gate wouldn't budge, the fence was full of sharp splinters, and the shrubbery was host to countless copperheads and yellowjackets just waiting to get a hold of whoever tried to penetrate the tangle. Mrs. Martha, who worked at the Between Grocery attached to the gas station, was quick to warn anyone who would listen about the danger. She wasn't sure who owned the property, she said, but whoever they were, they didn't do enough caretaking. She whispered about some people who had drowned there, once upon a time, and laughed off the more outlandish rumors that were bound to circulate in a town where there wasn't quite enough to occupy everyone's time. The rumors were of the ridiculous sort. Even Papa had said so. How Glass Pond supposedly led to someplace else. How it vomited up the strange characters who appeared randomly, confused and disoriented.